Welcome to the online public involvement meeting for Project Design ID 5163-07-02, Construction ID 5163-07-72 along Wisconsin 35 from Sunnyside Drive to the La Crosse, Vernon County line in La Crosse County. The presentation will follow the outline shown here. First, discussing the project limits. Second, the purpose and need of the project. Third, the proposed design improvements. Fourth, the impacts to the adjacent properties and traffic. Fifth, the next activities in the schedule. And finally, ending with contact information. What are the project limits? The proposed project begins at the La Crosse-Vernon County line and heads north along Wisconsin 35 for 1.5 miles to Sunnyside Drive in La Crosse County. Construction is proposed in Vernon County, but only includes culvert improvements near Mallard Lane. Why do we need this project? The following needs have been identified on this section of Wisconsin 35. Deteriorated pavement, traffic safety and operations on Wisconsin 35 at the County K and County GI intersection, substandard culverts and overgrown ditches along the highway south of the County K and County GI intersection, existing deck, parapets, and abutment deterioration for the bridge over Mormon Creek. The existing pavement on Wisconsin 35 is experiencing distress and significant cracking, along with raveling edges and centerline deterioration. This pavement deterioration causes increased maintenance costs, poor ride quality, and presents safety concerns. County K intersects Wisconsin 35 from the east at a skewed angle of approximately 65 degrees. This skewed intersection geometry is proven to create operational and safety problems at stop-controlled intersections. The intersection of Wisconsin 35 and County K is offset approximately 150 feet to the north of the intersection of Wisconsin 35 and County GI. Compared to four-leg intersections, offset intersections exhibit more crashes. In addition, County GI has limited vehicle storage length between the railroad crossing and the intersection with Wisconsin 35. This causes safety issues at the railroad crossing when larger recreational vehicles exiting Goose Island County Park are stopped at the intersection waiting to turn onto Wisconsin 35 and vehicles extend onto the railroad tracks. Drainage concerns have been identified along Wisconsin 35 south of County K and GI. Existing culverts do not meet current drainage design standards. Culverts are plugged and ditches are overgrown, prohibiting drainage conveyance. Property owners have experienced concerns with flooding near their properties, as shown in the photos. The existing deck, parapets, and abutment on structure B32-163 over the Mormon Creek are showing signs of deterioration and damage. These deficiencies result in costly expenditures to maintain. What are the proposed improvements? The next collection of slides explain the proposed improvements and show the typical section of Wisconsin 35. To address the safety concerns and pavement deterioration, the proposed construction on Wisconsin 35 would consist of removing the existing asphalt pavement and gravel and replacing it with 5 inches of new asphalt pavement over gravel between the La Crosse-Vernon County line to Sunnyside Drive. The pavement structure south of the Mormon Creek Bridge would also include a subgrade improvement with select crushed material and the installation of geogrid to address underlying poor soils that cause pavement deterioration. There would be a new shoulder gravel placed in the rural section of Wisconsin 35. New curb and gutter would be installed along Wisconsin 35 near the County GI and County K intersection. Grading will take place for a future shared use path along the west side of Wisconsin 35 from County GI to Sunnyside Drive. New pavement markings and signs would be installed. To address traffic and safety operation concerns at the intersections of Wisconsin 35 and County GI and Wisconsin 35 and County K, the following improvements are proposed. 1. Realign County K to line up with County GI for a four-legged intersection. 2. Shift the new Wisconsin 35 County GI County K intersection east to increase storage distance between Wisconsin 35 and the railroad crossing on County GI. 3. Widen the intersection to provide offset left turn lanes. And 4. Add right turn lanes on both northbound and southbound Wisconsin 35. A thorough review of the existing conditions south of County GI and County K concluded that the drainage discharge points can be summarized into two general locations. The North Culvert System is a set of 36-inch triple metal culverts under Wisconsin 35 just south of County GI, County K. The South Culvert System is a set of 36 triple metal culverts under Wisconsin 35 just north of the La Crosse-Vernon County line. As part of the South Culvert System, a drainage analysis of the Chipmunk Coulee Creek, located approximately 900 feet south of the project limits in Vernon County, was conducted to determine if the Chipmunk Coulee Creek overtops its banks and causes flooding to adjacent properties during large storm events. When reviewing the existing terrain for the North Culvert System, the drainage area entering these culverts encompasses a watershed north of County K that enters a large drop inlet in the northeast corner of the Vanity Drive and Janish Road intersection and exits in the southwest corner of the intersection. Runoff then enters a 60-inch corrugated metal culvert pipe that flows under County K on an angle and exits south of County K to an existing drainage swale that flows west to the three culverts under Wisconsin 35 just south of County G. The existing drainage swale flows between residential properties and it appears to be mowed and has limited capacity. Based on the photos from the recent storm event in August 2021, the existing drainage swale doesn't appear to have enough capacity for rainfall runoff entering the area and is overflowing into adjacent low-lying residential area for relief. The area has seen significant flooding in the last 15 years and has been much worse than what is shown in the photo. The area in the ditch leading to the entrance of the three culvert pipes under Wisconsin 35 south of County GI is currently heavily vegetated and overgrown. To address drainage concerns within the North Culvert System drainage area, the following improvements are proposed. 1. Replace the 36-inch triple metal culvert pipes under Wisconsin 35 just south of County GI with three 58.5-inch by 36-inch concrete pipe arch culverts and concrete masonry end walls. 2. Remove vegetation and clean the ditch at the entrance of the culvert pipes, varying between 80 to 100 feet from the edge of existing Wisconsin 35 travel lane within WIS right-of-way to encourage rainfall runoff to follow the existing drainage swale. And 3. Grade the ditch to drain east to west along the north side of Cottonwood Drive into a 24-inch reinforced concrete pipe under the driveway for W5898 Cottonwood Drive is part of the South Culvert System improvement that will be discussed later in this presentation. When reviewing the existing terrain for the South Culvert System, the drainage area entering the existing set of 36-inch triple metal culverts under Wisconsin 35 just north of the La Crosse-Vernon County line encompasses a watershed boundary of approximately 125 feet north of Cottonwood Drive, Old Highway 35, and Mallard Lane. Town of Shelby and property owners reported that lands located within this drainage area have experienced multiple flood events since 2007. This area is displayed in the first exhibit on this slide. Project photos confirm that the existing culvert pipes under Wisconsin 35 and adjacent driveways are often clogged with debris or buried, impacting the available capacity. This area is a low-lying area east of Wisconsin 35. A 2D steady-state hydraulic model was developed by WISDOT to review the effects of the Chipmunk Coulee Creek and how it impacts the South Culvert System study area. The existing conditions model confirmed that the Chipmunk Coulee Creek overtops its banks and causes flooding to adjacent properties, primarily to the east of Wisconsin 35 during large storm events, particularly the 100-year design storm frequency. A portion of the overflow extends into part of the South Culvert System drainage basin, bounded by Cottonwood Drive, Mallard Lane, and Old Highway 35. This area is in a low-lying area relative to the surrounding terrain. To address drainage concerns within the South Culvert System drainage area, the following improvements are proposed. 1. Install a new 5-foot by 12-foot concrete box culvert under Wisconsin 35 in place of the 36-inch triple metal culvert pipes located just north of the Vernon-La Crosse County line. And 2. Install 3 new 36-inch concrete culvert pipes under Wisconsin 35 just north of Mallard Lane in Vernon County. The second exhibit shows the decrease in water surface elevation in the area bounded by Cottonwood Drive, Mallard Lane, and Old Highway 35 with the proposed improvements under Wisconsin 35. Note that the improvements could provide up to 1.6-foot reduction in water surface elevation. Within the South Culvert System drainage area, there is a sub-basin outlined in pink as shown in the exhibit. For purposes of discussion, the sub-basin has been divided into Area A and Area B. Area A is a sub-basin area that extends north of Cottonwood Drive approximately 125 feet between Wisconsin 35 and Old Highway 35. The rainfall runoff is intended to flow through a driveway culvert at W5898 Cottonwood Drive towards Wisconsin 35, but the culvert pipe is currently buried, resulting in ponding. Area B in the southeast corner of Wisconsin 35 and Cottonwood Drive and the ditch in front of the property located at N162 Wisconsin 35 is also a part of the sub-basin area. The rainfall runoff in this area is intended to flow through the existing 24-inch metal culvert under the driveway and the ditch along the east side of Wisconsin 35 to the existing set of 36-inch triple metal culverts just north of the La Crosse-Vernon County line, but the driveway culvert is clogged with debris and buried. To address drainage concerns within the South Culvert System drainage area, the following improvements would be proposed. 1. Grade the ditch to drain east to west along the north side of Cottonwood Drive into a 24-inch reinforced concrete pipe under the driveway for W5898 Cottonwood Drive. 2. Install a 24-inch storm sewer system with field inlets along the ditch on the east side of Wisconsin 35 from Cottonwood Drive, exiting once past the driveway at N162 Wisconsin 35. And 3. Install a 24-inch storm sewer pipe under Wisconsin 35 just north of Cottonwood Drive for additional rainfall runoff relief for the sub-basin north of Cottonwood Drive and the overtopping of the North Culvert System rainfall runoff. The Mormon Creek drainage area was also reviewed as part of the project. The existing bridge opening over the Mormon Creek has debris and sediment which has reduced the flow area compared to the original constructed opening. Proposed improvements within the Mormon Creek drainage area include 1. Debris under the Mormon Creek Bridge and between the bridge and the railroad bridge within the existing right-of-way would be removed, and 2. Sediment under the bridge would be removed to make the bridge opening like the original construction. This would increase the bridge opening area and help with the flow of rainfall runoff. There is an existing box culvert located approximately 0.38 miles south of the Mormon Creek that crosses under Wisconsin 35 and the railroad track along the west side of Wisconsin 35. This box culvert is part of mapped floodplain of the Mississippi River and serves as a rainfall runoff overflow of the Mormon Creek drainage area as shown on the exhibit on the right. The rainfall runoff reaches a certain elevation along the east side of Wisconsin 35 near the Mormon Creek in large storm events and flows back towards this box culvert as relief. This box culvert would not be replaced with the project. Other improvements within the Mormon Creek drainage area include adequately sizing and replacing other culverts under Wisconsin 35 and driveway culverts to accommodate the proposed roadway improvements following WIS hydraulic design criteria for the specific storm events. The proposed structural improvements for the bridge on Wisconsin 35 over the Mormon Creek would include the installation of new concrete approach slabs and spot surface repair on abutments and piers. The bridge deck would be replaced and widened 25 feet east over Mormon Creek to accommodate the roadway shift in Wisconsin 35 and future shared use path. Wisconsin 35 property impacts. Right-of-way would be needed near culvert improvements to blend the slopes and provide room for contractors to work, not the entire project. Most of the right-of-way needs would include temporary limited easements, with some spot locations requiring minimal permanent right-of-way to maintain ditches. There would be approximately 9 parcels impacted with the project. The proposed ditch construction along the west side of Wisconsin 35 near the new box culvert and near the new triple set of culvert pipes just north of Mallard Lane would require a permanent limited easement to provide room for the contractor to work, blend the slopes, and maintain the ditches. The permanent limited easement located near the new culverts north of Mallard Lane would be located on U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, USFWS, property for which coordination is ongoing. The ditch construction would not adversely affect the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service land. What will happen to Wisconsin 35 traffic during construction? The anticipated construction for Wisconsin 35 is currently scheduled to begin in 2025 with possible advancement to 2024. Local and emergency access on Wisconsin 35 would be maintained during construction. During construction, Wisconsin 35 would remain open to two-way traffic with stage construction and temporary widening to accommodate traffic. County GI and County K would remain open to traffic with stage construction, utilizing lane closures with flagging operations during the day. The Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad would need to temporarily close County GI to improve the at-grade railroad crossing. Coordination of this closure with the railroad and La Crosse County is ongoing. There is a possibility that a temporary traffic signal would be required on Wisconsin 35 during construction of the new box culvert just north of the La Crosse-Vernon County line. Motorists would expect lane shifts and shoulder closures throughout the project area. Temporary access to businesses and residents within the project area would be provided and maintained during construction. Driveways would need to be temporarily closed for short periods of time when the driveways are being reconstructed. What is next? The current project schedule is outlined here. A third local officials meeting took place on May 4, 2022. The third public involvement meeting will take place virtually during the month of June 2022, providing opportunity for the public to provide input regarding the proposed improvements. The real estate acquisition process will begin this summer and will be finalized by the end of the design process. The plans for the project are currently scheduled to be finalized by May 2024, and construction is anticipated to begin in the spring of 2025 with the potential advancement of final roadway plans to February 2023 and construction start in spring of 2024. Thank you for your participation in this very important project. We look forward to receiving any questions or input you may have. We request that you provide comments by July 1st, 2022. You can do that several ways, either via a written comment form, which is part of the project handout available on the project website, or you may also simply email comments to the address as provided or mail to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation Southwest Region Office in Madison. For those that would like to meet in person to discuss the project, individual appointments can be arranged to meet at the La Crosse office, 3550 Mormon Cooley Road, on June 23, 2022, starting at 10 a.m. Thank you for your participation, and we look forward to hearing from you.